Berlin, Germany, a country known for being the most powerful nation in Europe. It was established within the 12th century and has since then been known for its leadership roles in science, humanities, museums, higher education, and government. But it wasn't long until something went horribly wrong. By 1931, the Great Depression had severely damaged Germany's economy. Politics was in chaos, and militias controlled by Nazis and communists fired out for control in the streets. Under the rule of Adolf Hitler, Germany was transformed into a fascist totalitarian state, which controlled nearly all aspects of life. The Germanic people were considered the purest Aryan race, and those they found as undesirables were to be exterminated. Racism, especially anti-Semitism, were featured within the regiment as the most brutal act which killed millions of Jews and others during the Holocaust. Astounding, an estimated of 11 million people were killed during the Holocaust. 6 million of those people were Jews. The Nazis also killed two-thirds of all the Jews living in Europe. An estimated 1.1 million children were murdered in the Holocaust. However, many of these people actually survived this entire ordeal due to the United States finally intervening, along with the British forces. Berlin was subjected to 363 air raids by the RAF Bomber Command between 1940 and 1945. British bombers dropped 45,517 tons of bombs, while the Americans dropped 23,000 tons. These raids caused immense devastation and lost lives. 4,000 people were killed, and 450,000 were made homeless. The skies of Berlin were not only in chaos, the land masses also suffered as well. The Battle of Berlin was the last major battle in Europe during World War II. It resulted in the surrender of the German army and the end of Adolf Hitler's rule. The battle began on April 16, 1945, and lasted until May 2, 1945. The battle was primarily fought between the German army and the Soviet army. The Soviet army vastly outnumbered the Germans. The Soviets had 2,500,000 soldiers, 7,500 aircrafts, and 6,250 tanks. The Germans had around 1 million soldiers, 2,200 aircraft, and 1,500 tanks. What was left of the German army was ill-equipped for the battle. Many of the German soldiers were sick, wounded, and starving. Desperate for soldiers, the German army included young boys and old men. The battle began on April 16th, and the Soviets attacked along the Oder River near Berlin. They quickly defeated the German forces outside Berlin and advanced onto the city. By April 20th, the Soviets began bombing Berlin. They worked their way around the city and had it completely surrounded in a few days. At this point, Hitler began to realize that he was going to lose the battle. He desperately tried to move the German army from western Germany to Berlin in order to save the city. Once the Soviets entered the city, however, the fighting became fierce. Within the city, in ruins, the streets full of rubble, the tanks were of little use, and much of the fighting was hand-to-hand and building-to-building. By April 30th, the Soviets were approaching the center of the city, and the Germans were running out of ammunition. At this point, Hitler admitted defeat and committed suicide along with his new wife Eva Braun. By May 8, 1945, much of Berlin is nothing but rubble. 600,000 apartments have been destroyed, and only 2.8 million of the city's original population of 4.3 million still live in the city. In accordance with the agreement signed by the Allies, the city is divided into 4 sectors and administered jointly by the occupying powers: the United States of America, the Great Britain, France, and the Soviet Union. But a little off topic, allow me to mention a proud day in African American history during World War II. In the 1936 Berlin Games, Adolf Hitler intended to showcase the Nazi ideology of Aryan racial supremacy. It was during this time that 2 African Americans by the names of Jesse Owens and Cornelius Johnson who made the biggest impact on the game. Jesse Owens captured a gold medal in the 100-meter long jump, the 200 meters in the 4x100-meter relay, a feat that would not be matched until American Carl Lewis did the same in 1984 Los Angeles Games. After World War II, Berlin once again became recognized as a world city of culture and creative industries. Numerous cultural institutions, many of which enjoy international reputation, are representing the diverse heritage of the city. Many young people, cultural entrepreneurs, and international artists continue to settle in the city. Berlin has established itself as a popular entertainment center in Europe. Berlin is currently at the leading edge of the global contemporary art scene. There are over 600 art galleries in the city. It is estimated that 6,000 to 7,000 artists live in the city, with a quarter of them being from outside Germany. Berlin is home to 153 museums. The Assemblea Museum Island is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and is situated in the northern part of the Spree Island between the Spree and the Kupfergraben. Berlin's architecture combines elements from all periods and all styles. Emblematic of Berlin, the Brandenburg Gate is a renowned landmark in the city. There the world-famous boulevard Unter den Linden begins. Walking along and making small detours from this avenue, one can catch a glimpse of the State Opera House, admire Hedwig's Cathedral, or take a closer look at the collection of the Old Museum, which reveals a microcosm of cultural excellence. Berlin landmarks, such as the Gendarmenmarkt and the French and German Cathedral, are the highest examples of the city's classic architecture. Berlin has 878 schools that teach 340,658 children in 13,727 classes and 56,787 trainees in businesses and elsewhere. The city has a 6-year primary education program. After completing primary school, students can continue to Sekundarschule, a comprehensive school, or gymnasium, a college preparatory school. Berlin has a special bilingual school program embedded in the Europass School, in which children are taught the curriculum in German or a foreign language, starting at a primary school and continuing in high school. 9 major European languages can be chosen as foreign languages in 29 schools. The Holocaust Memorial is a memorial in Berlin to the Jewish victims of the Holocaust, designed by the architect Peter Eisman and engineer Buro Happold. It consists of a 19,000-meter squared site covered with 2,711 concrete slabs, arranged in a grid pattern on a sloping field. They are organized in rows, 54 of them going north to south, and 87 heading east to west at a right angle but set slightly askew. An attached underground place information holds the name of all the known Jewish Holocaust victims, obtained from the Israelite Museum Yad Vashem. The Eastside Gallery is an international memorial of freedom. It is a 1.3 kilometer long section of the Berlin Wall located near the center of Berlin on Mühlenstraße and Friedrichshain-Krusenberg. The gallery is located on the so-called Hinterland Mauer, which closes the border to West Berlin. The gallery consists of 105 paintings by the artists from all over the world, painted in 1990 on the east side of the Berlin Wall. The East Side Gallery was founded by the following successful merger of the two German Artists Association VBK and BBK. Berlin is the capital of Germany, as well as Germany's largest city. Berlin itself is located in Central Europe and surrounded by its neighboring countries Poland, the Czech Republic, Austria, Switzerland, France, Belgium, the Netherlands, and Denmark. It's a country with large alpine mountains in the west and vast hilly plateaus in the east. It's surrounded by 3 large rivers, the Rhine River, the Danube River, and the Elbe River, all of which are used in the export of goods. Berlin's history has left the city with a highly eclectic array of architecture and buildings. The city's appearance is predominantly by the key role it's played in the 20th century. Berlin has a population of 3.4 million people, making Berlin the 7th most populous urban area in the European Union. Zugspitze is the highest peak in the Wetterstein Mountains, as well as the highest mountain in Germany. It lies south in Garmisch-Partenkirchen, and the border between Germany and Austria runs over its western summit. South of the mountain is the Zugspitze Platte, a high scarped plateau with numerous caves,